Welcome back to the grandiose return of the Romper Crew, with Romper behind me on my bed this episode for our grandiose
Good for
return.
him.
You can't see him, but he's there. I swear. That rhymed.
Come on, Romper, say something.
We're back. Now he's like asleep, dude.
Aww.
So we're back. After a little bit of a hiatus, you could say, and not only that, we're playing a different game than the one last said. We're kind of doing a bit of a soft reboot in a sense, but also a continuation.
He's sugarcoating it. I screwed it up.
It's
a compilation.
Well,
if anything, I screwed up.
No. Okay. Before my pals here all take the blame. We all screwed up. M picked the wrong, a game you probably shouldn't have in retrospect, which is fine. Mayo unfortunately couldn't pick the game or play the game because it's just not something he could do, which is fine. And then I was lazy and never brought anything back up. So everyone's at fault. There you go. Equal grounds here. We promote equality here. But as a replacement game, and this is M's pick again, we're playing a Crusader of Centy? That's how you say the name, right?
Yes, from my understanding. And obviously, I don't mean this as some sort of sick joke. I didn't pick the game as some sort of piss take towards the thing that's going on at the moment. And you'd be shocked to find out what the protagonist's name actually is. I
could
you
take
not.
a few guesses.
Look it up then. Look it up. Go ahead. That was just coincidental.
Does it have something to do with the pandemic currently? I'm not going to say the word because YouTube's a little bit of a fickle bunch. So
yes, fickle pickle and all that.
Yep.
Yes. Literally the name.
Goodness.
Yeah, Mayo. Yeah, that was very coincidental. Didn't expect it.
But that's
poor
funny
kid.
though. That's really funny.
Poor kid.
But yeah, we're back. And as usual, we're gonna go down the list of names, starting with your host, the greatest person in the world, me.
Romper? Oh,
well, yes, and Romper. Yogamoanyo. There's my socials there, my beautiful socials. Please don't follow me on Twitter. I only like not safe for work stuff. Please don't follow me there.
Oh, so that explains why the Twitter icon looks as like it does.
Yes.
Hi, I'm EMP, the ectoplasmic.
I hope your Twitter handle is still the same, for the record.
It is.
Changed it. Okay, good. There you go. And then, last but not least.
so hey, it's so beautiful. Well, yeah, I'm Mayo's Mayonnaise Doctor. I'm here too.
We should probably change your thing to be more in line with the little mascot guy I gave you. This is like the proto version of that.
I thought you were going to suggest something like I don't know. He should be more in line with a jar of Vaseline. I don't know why.
There you go, our three hosts. And yep, as I said, this game is. I forgot the name of the game already. I said it earlier.
Centy.
Well, this is one of the games that had a completely different name in the European countries as well. So, yeah. I forget.
Nice.
Yeah, it's literally the name of the first town you're in, I think.
Crusader of Centy. Yeah, thank you, Mayo, and thank you, game.
It's just called Soeli in Europe. That's
we'll call it. I'll call it COC. So yes, game.
Got it. You're gonna call it cock.
Yeah, exactly. It's a game published by Atlas. I can't remember the name of the devs.
God, I completely forgot about Atlas and their godforsaken content ID shenanigans.
Developed by Nextech.
Nextech. Oh, well, I mean, it says computer design, but I didn't know. I think
I was looking at the Wikipedia articles. They still have that open.
I think I was looking it up, the games these people made, and I think they've actually helped in some higher profile games. They're kind of like a subsidiary. They don't exist, I don't think, anymore. They're just like it's like a mixture of a whole bunch of like modern games now with like devs or publishers or something.
What?
I mean, they worked on Time Crisis. That's the most noteworthy thing I see on their thing.
There you go. They worked on Time Crisis. And this is a SEGA Genesis game from 1994. I'm gonna review the game now, so you all can just leave after this. Please don't leave the call because it'll literally just ruin my setup. Don't. This is a joke, I swear. I was gonna say.
Tempt me, swine.
As a joke, though, I was gonna say to save you guys time. This is just the SEGA Genesis Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. There you go. All right, time saved. Now, if you want to stay for the rest of the commentary, here we go.
I
think I have to set up my controls. Oh wait, do I? No,
you talk to Doug.
So, yes. I'm gonna be doing a bit of a. We're gonna be playing this in a bit of a different way. Oh, I didn't even keep my save. Wow, I beat this in one save or sitting for the record when I did it myself.
Speaking of that, you want to know what I had to deal with?
Sure, go ahead.
To put it simply, I had to restart the game at some point from roughly the middle of it.
That's well, at least it's a short game.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And it's all because this is emulated. I had the save data located in a different directory. Yeah, it's fun.
So.
But that was solved.
That's. I mean, my save wasn't there, as you saw. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a different layout in a sense, or a different way we're going to be, what's it called? How I plan to structure this compared to some other,
Well, I'm the one that kind of screwed it up. I say kinda, because if you want us to share blame, I'm saying kinda in that context.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all had our way.
We'll just let it slide. It's over.
Yep.
Don't
Yeah, FYI, there was a sequel made, but I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think there might be a 2022 compilation being made on the subject of the last game that just got canned. I may do something pertaining to that and Cave Jumper. I've been pondering it.
Ooh, Cave Jumper. What a throwback. So, yeah, this is I guess in an easy way to describe it, this is really just like a Zelda-like game. It's not fully like Zelda, but it's definitely very similar.
It was definitely made to be like Genesis's answer to Link to the Past, even if it's not a one-for-one.
Yeah,
and it's especially funny when you compare this to the leak that happened a year ago. You know, the Giga leak.
Are you talking about the
yes, the Nintendo Giga? Yeah, I'm talking about the Nintendo Giga leak.
Oh, okay.
Because the prototype stuff with Link, he would have probably been roughly as tall as Ailment here.
So one thing I like to say though is like when you walk into the city, this literally just looks like a Link to the Past. I thought this was just a Link to like somebody just straight up copy pasted a Link to the Past. It was that.
Yeah, honestly, I feel that's insulting to it.
I'm gonna agree. That's a little demeaning.
Honestly, and it's got qualities to it.
It looks like Kakariko Village in A Link to the Past.
I don't see it.
I do not see it. Just because it has grass? Yes, exactly. Games got grass. Copyright infringement.
This art style it's very much like Genesis A Link to the Past to me. All right, so
now that's fair. That's fair.
I have to be full. I'm just gonna be upfront. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm gonna be the first person to break the ice here. I wasn't the biggest fan of this game.
You're not the only one.
Oh. I guess I'm the only person who liked it then. Okay.
Ooh. Well, I mean, so the thing is, I don't. There's a lot to love for me, right? But there's also a lot of things. I think that the little things that I didn't like started to add up for me and I started to slowly dislike it, and eventually it started to just anger me at a point.
Stories.
I guess I just never got to that point. Like, the worst thing I could say with this is just like it's a guide game, but like that's it.
Yeah, so first things first, this game has a very bad... Well, actually, let me just go over the story real quick, because it's very simple. It's basically split into two halves. There's the first half, where you get cursed and you can only talk to animals but not humans, and you kind of learn the woes of, like, animals and creatures around, and then the entire second half of the game is you get your ability to talk to people again, and the entire point is to, like, stop the war between, like, creatures, animals, you know, so on and so forth. I forgot how crazy
on that
attacking or getting hurt sound is. It sounds like he's getting killed.
On that, not on the slow and painful death. That sounds like someone's having various things crammed up the backside. Actually, two things. Now that you're just beating the shit out of boxes, for me, the story felt like it was all over the place. Is that just me?
I thought it was pretty cut and dry, simple. As far as
I mean, it is. It just felt all over the place. I don't know why.
I mean, I don't even think it was capable of being all over the place. There's hardly anything there.
Yeah, because there's not really much. Not really a lot is said. The protagonist is quiet, like a silent protagonist, and the gist is, like I said, it's split into two halves. There's the first half, you're you're protecting, saving animals, you know, all that sort of nice stuff.
I'm just saying it felt that way. I didn't say it actually was. It clearly isn't. It just feels that way for me. I don't know why. It must have that very specific feel that you can't outright explain.
You know what I think it might be, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here. But does it have to do with the fact that because nothing is really downright said to you, like, and you kind of like, because at the beginning this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna talk to a gypsy, or I think is it a gypsy or is it a fortune teller? I think.
Yeah, I'd be careful with the word that you're spouting, though.
I'm using I thought that was the word they used in the game. I'm not just saying the word because I know people can be a bit... No, I think it's fortune teller. I think Mayo's correct.
Okay.
But either way, to get past that, I was just... I know the word's a little touchy now, but that's not what I meant. Anyways, so yeah, you go to a fortune teller, and then the fortune teller kind of just disappears, and yet your goal is to find the fortune teller. But at the same time, the fortune teller doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, except for the fact that they took away your ability to speak to humans. That's basically it, I guess. But I don't know. It's a little. I guess I could kind of see what you're saying in a sense. Like some things kind of happen. Like some things kind of happen when they don't need to happen, sort of thing. Like it's not really
not built up. I think that's exactly what it is. Now that you say it.
Yeah, like things just kind of happen, but I mean, yeah, when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, like it is a very simple story. Yeah, for a game like this, it's fine. Like I don't mind it. I doubt you guys.
It's simple by design.
Yeah.
And on that design part, yeah. How about the collision detection when attacking? It feels off, doesn't it?
So, well, that's
weird off.
So that is one of the many problems I have with this game. So, yeah.
This is starting to sound like a Klonoa thing again, where you guys just had so many issues of collision. I was like, I don't see it.
Well, here's the thing. Whenever you go and attack boxes, you only attack one at a time. Grass, you can be swiping from the side of a bush. And
this, I'm not hitting the top. Yes. If I move slightly forward, I hit both. Or here, I'm not hitting either, but if I move slightly forward... Yeah. I think that's what that means in the end.
If that was fine-tuned a bit more, that would have been so much of an improvement.
Yeah, because I guess we can just move into talking about controls, too, because I'll be honest, this is where the game started to be the breaking point for me and why I started to not really enjoy it as much as I probably should. I think the game controls fine. Like, in terms of movement, stuff like that, it's fine. But this is the thing that started to make me hate everything. For anyone
stairs!
Who's watching... Well, stairs, I guess, yeah. I mean, you move slow, that's fine.
My god, that got irritating.
But for me, the problem is, I thought this was cool at first. When I first played the game, I realized, say you're looking down, you press up, you do a full turn. I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool little thing, right? Like, that's a cool little like detail
feature.
Yeah, and then it started doing this thing where later on, and I mean later on, I should say early on, you get the ability to toss your sword.
Which you can literally go and get now if you wanted.
Yeah, is it 20 or is it 40 coins? I thought it was
20, I believe.
But either way, the problems I started to realize is after a while you need to, because the combat can get a little hectic. It's very simple, but it can get hectic where you gotta like, you gotta reposition yourself and hit enemies and stuff like that very fast. And throwing your sword is technically a powered up attack.
Yeah, but you probably abused the hell out of it more than anything.
I did.
Yeah, I threw more than I did regular swipes.
Well, it also does more damage. That's the big thing. It does more damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt almost no reason to use the normal swipe unless it was like absolutely necessary sort of thing. And that's when the problem started to arise with the turning. So if you had to wait for your character to turn the full direction if you want to toss it the correct way. If you don't,
there is
then
no
he tosses
setup
it
to
the wrong way. And that is where probably my biggest complaint started to come into. Like that's when I started to slowly get irritated at the game, because there are a lot of points, like I said, the combat gets hectic, right? It's simple, but like a lot of stuff starts appearing on screen or whatever, right? Or like trying to dodge enemies and hitting them at the same time. Sometimes I'd be like, okay, I'll dodge an attack, then I'll hit them. Like I'll toss my sword at them because it does more damage and it's, the safe option to do, right? And then sometimes I would not full the turn, or most of the time I wouldn't turn the full thing because I'd have to wait like an entire second to turn the full mile and turn the character around so I can hit him. That's the thing that started to slowly irritate me. And that's when I started to slowly accumulate some issues with the game.
Yeah, this whole you can only attack one box at a time, that is especially irritating. But also,
I take that as a nitpick for me personally.
Well, I mean, whenever you want to get through an area quick enough, I mean, you're not really given much of the opportunity for really adding to it. And if it's designed that way, sure, fine, whatever. That's perfectly fine, I guess. Well, actually, I'm not the one that developed this, so yeah, it is perfectly fine. The issue that I have with the attacking is you can also be standing on a damn bush, and it won't even be cut.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Well, here's the issue that I'm talking about. See, if you guys look at the screen, like I press down and then I throw my sword, and I have to wait for him to turn the full like the full 180.
Now
otherwise,
that
it does
would
not
be
go in a
useful.
straight line.
That has usefulness to it because I've had to use.
Yeah,
that
like
before.
I think that's actually better than not. Like I got a lot of mileage out of that.
I find it to be, for most situations, for me, it was more of a pain in the ass, but at the same time, I do get what you guys are saying, like 100%. But I will say, other than that little nitpick, at the very least, I actually do like tossing the sword, and it is satisfying, especially when you're cutting a whole bunch of grass.
It really is.
So I do like
basically
that.
Need it for combat.
But given how like important tossing your weapon is, and how you have to like wait sometimes if you want to get a straight shot, that ended up frustrating me more than usual. And I tried to adapt to like angling myself, but sometimes I couldn't get it on like the right frame of him being turned. So it ended up just being this like, yeah, it was just kind of a bit of a mess for me. Like there was not really anything that it felt like I just had to sit and wait and position myself in ways that made things a little harder for me. And it's a constant issue, like a constant thing, not an issue, but it's like a constant thing. So for me, that ended up being it was a personal problem for me. And that made me dislike the game, unfortunately, a bit more. That's when I started to dislike the game, I think, because, well, that amongst other things. But I'm curious, Mayo, how did you feel about like all the controls and all that sort of stuff?
I never had issues. Like I'm baffled at all the issues you two seem to have. Like I never had it, like at all.
I thought you were actually in agreement with us, but okay.
No, like I was like just being. Oh, I said early on, like no, I didn't see it. Like game control's perfect.
Well, I mean, it's not so much the control of that, it's just the combat with the control is where the issue really started.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
At
I
least
mean, for me, I know what you're getting at, and I actually agree. Yeah, the angled feature is fantastic and all, but it could have been refined, clearly.
I think what should have
It's
happened
not a terrible
is...
system, it's just not put in quite right.
I kind of think what should have probably happened was, if you're going to toss your sword in a direction, they probably should have just let you instantly toss it the direction like that you press. I think that would have been just the easiest solution.
Well, standing there could cause a bit of an issue whenever doing that, because there are instances where you need to have the throw ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. It's weird, because, like, the weird part to me is, like, the beginning of the game, it really isn't that bad. Like, it really is not that big of an issue. It's when the game progresses is when it started to become problematic for me. Because the beginning of the game is very, like, it's very simple, which, I mean, it should be, you know, it's the beginning of the game, after all. But, yeah, as the game kind of went on, that's when it was a bit... that's when it started getting a little rough for me. And yeah, but yeah, it's interesting to know that you didn't have what's it called, like, too many issues. I guess it's fair.
Period, like just, none. Like, I don't know what you two were talking about.
Well,
like,
so here's a good example.
You, but...
In this
oh
boss,
yes,
so I actually didn't struggle with this boss, or rather, I didn't think about that controller issue with this boss. Right, like. Or the control issues, not controller. Until now, just seeing this boss again. Because now I'm trying to hit him, but I have to reposition myself while dodging these attacks at the same time. It's just
and
difficult.
you have to
but
throw.
That's the point.
It is, but the thing is, I guess my issue is, I don't know. It's just the fact that I have to.
It kind of feels like you're complaining about you have to hit a button to do an attack. Like, yeah.
That's not my issue. My issue is the fact that I have to wait a second to aim, to be properly aiming, as opposed to just pressing the button and being able to just look in that direction.
But you don't even have to do that, because you can just move over later.
I mean, I guess, but maybe when we get to certain points in later the game, and later parts of the game, or it's not even like, it's like the first half it'll show. But I guess we'll move on from there, because another thing that started giving me grievances too, and Mayo did bring this up already, this is a bit of a guide game. But the problem that I have, I don't inherently have issues with the guide games, right? Like,
guide games?
Yeah, like games
it's a game that you're inevitably going to get lost if you don't use a guide.
Yeah, you basically need a guide to finish, sort of thing. Because it's
I had to use it once or twice.
I had to
use it almost every area.
I had to use it a lot.
I just had the game fact open all the time.
So I'll tell you. Oh,
right?
Which for the record, I'm just gonna say one of the guides I used was pissing me off, because they kept using. They said west when west meant east, but sometimes west was correct, and it was pissing me off. That has nothing to do with the game.
Is that the game facts guide? Because
yes.
That was.
Oh.
Yes, I had the same one. That picked me off so much.
Even worse, because there were some points where they were like, "Go west."
West.
Literally, that's what was going on. It was
yes.
It was infuriating.
Like, why can't they just say left or right?
But even worse, Mayo, is that person would say west correctly every now and again. Sorry to go on a tangent about this guide. It's just me and him both had to use a guide. So.
Oh yeah, it's the top guide that showed up whenever you try to find a guide on this game.
Oh boy,
it's mostly fine. But...
YouTube, this is not some harassment campaign before you flip your shit. Now calm down.
We haven't said their name or anything.
I know, it's just a pure principle of it, because I remember whenever I was looking around for a footage reference of this game real quick, whenever it was something to look around for, funny thing, some lunatic called this better than The Legend of Zelda. And before I even finished the game, yeah, I actually was in disagreement.
I don't think I'd be in agreement even if I enjoyed the game more, because there is a lot to like about the game, to be fair. Like, it is very
I like the gameplay of this more, but literally everything else of it is better.
Yeah, honestly, I could see that. Like, even with my grievances of the gameplay, I totally see where you're coming from.
I didn't quite catch that, Mayo. What did you say? I don't know why.
I said I like the gameplay better than Zelda, but literally every other aspect of the game Zelda does better.
Yeah, which again I can agree with, because I mean there are some cool things, because you do get pets or animals, I should say, rather, because that's your main, like, the main gimmick is you get animals and stuff, right?
And my god, they come up with great combinations too.
Yeah, so they give you powers, whether it's for your sword or like your movement or any of that sort of stuff. And I think that's a really cool feature. Actually, I like the idea. How you can.
I like the idea. That was actually one that felt a little underbaked to me. I don't know, like maybe the sequel does that one better, but I don't know.
Sequel? What now?
I agree. You said there was a sequel.
Yeah, you said there was one. You're the one
I was referring to the Haunted Ps1.
I thought we were good. I thought we were over that hurdle. I thought you were talking about this game.
We were way past that.
Yeah,
I did too. Nobody was talking about the.
I was referring to it before we even really gone in depth with this. It was quite a ways ago.
But what were we talking about again? Oh yeah, the mechanics with the animals. Yeah, I agree in a sense where they are a bit underbaked. But I think it has a solid foundation that's good enough on its own for the game that it is.
Absolutely. I think my bigger issue is that you can only have 2 equipped at a time.
Yeah,
and
especially because
a lot of just ones that I just think are basically managed. Like I got to a point where the walking speed started feeling really slow. So yeah, Cheetah was out all the time.
I was gonna say, let's be honest, we had the Cheetah on at all times, and that was the only one you replaced in like a moment when you were basically
and that's how it was until like at least the 2/3 point where you get Moa, and then it was like Mo and the lion all the time. That was it.
Yeah,
and even
except for puzzles.
We talking about mowing lawns here in the game.
Sorry, I just this is what
even
I did.
That was a pain in the ass.
Look, this was what I first did when I played the game. I couldn't stop myself from getting rid of tossing the sword and getting rid of the grass. It was fun. Okay, leave me alone.
I am not judging. I'm just simply saying it's a pain in the ass even then to, shave the ground, so to speak.
Excuse me, I'm a big fan of No More Heroes. I love lawn mowing.
Great.
And on that day, he started his lawn mowing career.
It's true. So also, this is the point in the game where we can. Oh wait, I forgot to get my dog. This is the point of the game where you can only talk to animals. Though this does bring up the whole guide thing too, because this is the first part I needed the guide, because there is nothing that indicates that I need my dog at this point.
I had the dog and I still couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go to you're supposed to get your dog, and after you get your dog, you go to a rabbit, and because the rabbit doesn't trust humans, your dog says, "No, I trust him because he's my human friend."
I went to the rabbit first, and I just so happened to figure out, oh, maybe the dog will help out in some way, and then I head back, and well, sure enough, that worked.
I guess that makes sense, but at the same time, I never thought to myself the dog would matter. I thought it was just a world building thing, like, oh, it's your pet. Okay, cool. That's why. Okay, why would I ever have to think about that again? But I think the problem for me, right, is the fact that this game is both a guide game. It's mostly a guide game. I feel like, but at the same time, it's like all over the place. Sometimes the path is very straightforward, right? And it's just like, just do this thing, or it tells you what to do, right? Like, oh, go over here and do this. Okay, that's easy.
Oh yeah, like at this point in the game, like personally, I was still trying to figure out like how am I supposed to get those medals, because that's basically the only story we had at that point.
Exactly, that's what I thought you had to do.
Yeah.
That's what I thought my main thing was, because they're like, okay, you're supposed to be an adventurer, go collect the medals. Okay, I can only do the one. Then it was like, figure out how to jump. How the hell do I jump?
I had completely different context from that, but I don't know what that context was.
Maybe there's some villagers or something that I passed by that give you a good idea.
They can't talk to them.
Oh yeah, but See, there you go. That's an inherent problem as far as I'm concerned. And I think that the part that annoys me, again, I don't mind guide games. Like, there can be guide games that are fine, right? My issue is the fact that this game is very all over the place in terms of that. I don't know if you all feel the same, where sometimes, like I said, the game will be like, go here and do this. Okay, that makes sense. And then other times, it doesn't tell you what you're supposed to do, and you just kind of have to wander around and hopefully figure it out.
I think I may have
kind of get the same thing. Like, I think most of the end game is pretty self-explanatory because you have those storms everywhere, but everywhere else is like, I don't know, it's like 50-50.
Yeah, the first half is really bad, specifically.
I think first half is whenever it came to any kind of guidance... Yeah, this is especially stupid. The rampage just like, yeah, just jump, forehead. Just jump, asshole.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of stupid.
It
is.
But
It is funny though.
Now, this area has got something I had to use the guide for, and it's such a crock of shit. And it happens at the second half of the game.
Are you talking about the life route?
No.
Oh, okay.
That I was able to figure out. You know the boss in this area?
Yeah.
Hides in the sand?
Oh.
That's a crock of shit. Not even
I can't really talk because I thought this was one of the easiest games we've ever done with this shit. Like, I didn't die once.
Well, it's a matter of finding...
So, speaking on difficulty, though, to kind of go in with, like, the whole, like, guide game thing, this game is either, yes, very easy, or very fucking annoying. At least to me it is. Usually it's fine, right?
Expect to hear screaming often.
Like, usually, I don't think there's anything in here inherently hard, right? But let's just say the level directly after the one that I'm in, after this beach, you have to deal with wind physics, and that level is shit. I hate that level. I hate it so much, and it's so early.
But wind, hang on, wind? Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Actually, it's not directly after this.
Well,
no, wait,
very
there's
close.
one.
Oh, no. It's a part of this area. That's what it is.
Yeah, so...
I was thinking of the fire area.
But because of that, though, I don't think there's any levels that are... I don't think this game... Like I said, yeah, like Mayo said, I don't think this game overall is hard. But to me, this level... Or game, sorry. Definitely has its moments where it just gets very obnoxious. For no reason. And then it's just like one area, and then it's done. Case in point, the desert. Fuck the desert. I hate it.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Genuinely one of the most annoying areas. Even worse, the ice palace area. That was also annoying.
The movement in that one was just irritating. That's what that was.
If you didn't find the line straight away in the ice palace, I feel so sorry for you. That must have been awful.
What was that? No.
So if you didn't find the lion in the ice area, I feel so sorry for you, because that place must have been the worst.
Worst part, he's literally right at the entrance.
Oh, yeah. I say that because I did miss him the first time around.
I missed him too.
I found him the first time around. What? Well, I mean, I had to go get him twice because I had to redo the whole save. Nothing to see here. Let's move on.
But, yeah, so, like, I do think Mayo, like, I do agree with Mayo, though, in the sense of, yeah, this game isn't hard, really. Especially because they give you so many tools to, like, keep you alive and stuff. I've never died. Well, I've lost all my health, but there are, like, you can hire animal buddies, like, that are, like, one-time use things.
Revive you.
Yeah.
So you're not really dying.
Yeah, and honestly, like, the game is very easy because of that, and that's fine. I don't mind that at all. It doesn't bug me. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's a hard game at all. I don't think it's hard. I don't think there's any moment that I struggled in at all. But there, like, in terms of like being hard, annoyed, yes. Hard, no.
Now it's the area after this with the windy, rainy bullshit.
Yeah.
Which,
also,
I mean,
is there
fun
something to tell
idea.
us
So there's
how to get
another
in
one.
here?
Nope, nothing in the game says it. None of the NPCs around mention it. You just have to know to jump. And that is not a one-time gimmick.
Hang on. I think it's actually hinted at.
No, it's not. It's
From what I recall it was.
Talk to these guys. We have an automatic doors. Others have to step on it. I'll be honest though, I wouldn't know what they mean by this. And also, they say we have automatic doors. There's a door open here. There's a door open here. That's
translation problem.
I don't think it's a translation problem. I honestly think that's just because translation's fine. I think it has some weird moments, sure, but
especially for the time, like it's fine.
Yeah, speaking of that, some choices being switched around. Did anyone else have that issue?
Like,
there is literal context in the church itself where your sister is asking you a question about life itself, essentially. Why people are so nasty and all that. No is yes and yes is no. I'm not even kidding.
I don't remember.
I'm dead serious.
I must have
It's awkward.
I must have not cared about. Are those monkeys?
Yes,
monkey.
Yes, monkey.
I think that was one of those I think that was one of those situations before where
you just
it was
didn't care.
Like, the story was so minimal, that it didn't really matter to me. I guess. So
I mean, that's fair. I was just really just looking around at the time, so.
That's I do think there's a lot of interesting like world building and like the concept of like obviously this is a trope, the whole like there's an animal that animals versus humans sort of thing. Like I get that trope and I don't mind it too much, but I do. I'm already mad.
Any trope can be good. You just have to do it. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
Even the most generic.
This level does have something I do enjoy, though. So.
Sorry, what was that?
This level does have something that I do enjoy.
Jumping?
Yes.
Long ways?
Nah, the music, but I'll get into the music a little later. Because I actually have interesting opinions on that. I don't know, this, I guess to sort of top off my thoughts, and I guess Mayo sort of is in agreement here, and I guess to you, you must not really be in too much of agreement here about the whole, this needing to be a guide game, because you said you only need to use it twice, so maybe me and Mayo just failed to understand things?
Well, here's the thing, with Final Fantasy VII, back when I was playing it, I needed a guide a few times. My patience can wear thin real fast. And for some reason, it didn't really happen as prominently in this as some other things. Granted, the game that I'm going to be suggesting is more than likely going to encourage a guide, I'll say that much.
I only use a guide as an absolute last resort, to be fair.
Well, just for context, I am never recommending something as awful as La Milana. I'm just going to say that right now. For God's sake, just ban that from being done here, please.
Never heard of it, and I could imagine neither of you could explain it.
It's not just hard in difficulty, it's hard in the puzzles.
It's very cryptic.
Here's the thing. It puts NES cryptic nature of the NES to shame. It's that bad. And there are puzzles that are absolute crocks of shit with that.
It's a very cryptic game overall.
But anyhow, I only had to use the guide like maybe 2 or 3 times. It wasn't really that bad for me. Which I'm surprised that you both had the issue of that, because I would say my skill cap is significantly lower to both of yours.
I mean, well, I guess maybe you're more accustomed to games like this, so you kind of expected certain things. I don't know, that's all I could really say, because again, the dog thing is the main. Honestly, that might be one of the worst offenders in the entire game. Is like nothing indicates for me to go to my dog or any of that sort of stuff.
I didn't have an issue with the dog. Like I found the dog right away.
No, it's not. It's not finding the dog. Finding the dog was fine. It was the idea of the fact that you needed to find him and then go to the rabbit, and then that's all that.
I just assumed like that was the obvious part. It was like, oh, you can talk to animals. So obviously, you're gonna go talk to your dog. Like that's obvious to me.
Really? I didn't consider talking to my dog.
Not to me personally.
This
I know
was
it's
the
not
only animal we
obvious.
saw up till that point.
For me personally, I didn't feel it was obvious, but it was just something that popped into my head. And if it was not obvious, yeah, I think I'd be in agreement with this being bullshit.
I wouldn't say it was bullshit. I don't know. I couldn't. My brain could not grasp. Well, I guess maybe my brain was more latched onto the idea you could also talk to like flowers and stuff.
I can talk to plants,
which is a very odd thing because they're like you can talk to plants.
Speaking of, hey, look at all the plants you're talking to right now, right?
It's so weird. It is so weird how they're like you can talk to plants. You can only really talk to flowers. Those are the only real things that have like dialogue.
Well, my money also on that would be on it being a translation problem. Then again, and I mean,
translation.
That one I could actually see being a translation problem. Like
they could be referring to nature, and for any kind of English release, it would be referred to as animals. Because it's not far-fetched when you think about it.
Now it's time for the worst part.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, the mechanic, great idea, but annoying.
I guess I am curious, though, to sort of move on from that topic a bit. The music, sound, all that sort of stuff. Genesis twang.
Not bustingly good in places.
So, I think overall I actually do enjoy the soundtrack, but I must say, I don't know them offhand. There are some songs I remember annoying the shit out of me.
I don't remember any of the music in this game, but I do remember like kind of liking some of them, so it's at least fine. I will say one thing though, because this is kind of in the same category. Some of the sound effects are awful.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what they were like, especially like this when you're holding the sword up. Like that is, I had the game on mute for like 60% because
not only that,
I could not bear that sound.
Case in point. Oh god, I hate this. Case in point for me is the fucking hit sound effect. I don't know why it is such a shrill sound.
That's all I'm hearing. Just meh.
It reminds me of Echo the Dolphin in a way, because that also has a shrill, like, scream for damage. Now I'm going to associate this game with Echo the Dolphin. Thanks, Em.
You're welcome!
Listen, this isn't Echo the Dolphin. Calm down.
Not yet.
It's not like I said, let's play Kaizo Mario.
This is another kind of cryptic thing. Well, semi-cryptic. I don't know why they expect me to be able to jump on that, but... I mean, it's... At least that one I can at least surmise. Like, okay, maybe I can jump on it. I don't know why they put that as the very last thing.
Okay, I'm not gonna insult the track that's present in this. The boss fight music, both of them, are fantastic. Problem is... it feels out of place, or is it just me?
I like the boss music quite a bit, actually.
No, I'm not saying it's terrible. It's great. It really is. It's just it feels out of place. I don't know why.
It's very Kirby sounding, though. I'll say that much.
And that sounds like I guess sticking with the Genesis, like something maybe out of like 3D Blast.
You know what's weird about the soundtrack about this game? I don't know if this is just a me thing, but I feel like the soundtrack of this game is very... Sometimes it sounds very Genesis-y, like it has that Genesis twang to it. And other times it kind of just doesn't. It's almost a little weird.
I mean, whenever a game like this on any kind of system with the sound font, like this can do that, you know it's really doing a good job.
I like the Genesis twang.
I mean, whenever it also came to something like the Nintendo 64 specifically, you could just record samples, if I've got this right, and just have the sound font set up that way. I mean, didn't Ocarina have time to do that? Sure seems like it. I'm just doing a bit of comparison to that, because with this, you really couldn't do that. The fact that you can make music actually sound different from what console it's on at this point in time actually
I don't think
means
they intentionally tried to make it sound like it didn't come from the Genesis. I just think it just so happens some tracks don't sound Genesis.
Because if they was trying to do that, I think they would have done that for the entire soundtrack, not just some of them.
Yeah, because some of them have that fucking twang. They have that guitar going, and you can just hear the Genesis just rocking out, you know, which is totally fine. I mean, I think overall I do actually very much like. I actually think I like the soundtrack quite a bit overall. It's just I feel like the songs that did annoy me particularly annoyed me, but those were so infrequent that it didn't really matter too much in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
Sound effects, though, yeah, they can be very ear-piercing. Also, like, hitting these enemies after you toss your sword at them, it makes this, like, ear-piercing sound. Oh, yeah. Ugh. It's definitely... I feel like the sound effects in general are a mixed bag, but at the very least, I think the music
completely
is
forgot that they used really sharp sounds for this. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Both very sharp sounds and very annoying sounds. A bit of both. It's very selective.
This track, though, my god.
So, quick question: was I the only one here that was dumb enough to come to this place first? Had no idea what
I came here first.
Yeah,
I came here first. Also, I hate this section.
It gave me a deep loathing of these dragons.
Yeah,
they're invincible if you don't have the penguin.
Even more annoying, though, I think this is where the beginning of my sword throwing issues happen, because you can. So the thing is, when you have animals, usually how they work is if they're not like a passive thing on you at all times, usually it affects like your weapon, right? In this case, it affects your weapon only if you throw it. So as you can see, I have to adjust myself to hit the head of these dragons, but sometimes it's not so easy.
And the only passive animal is the cat. You need two animals active.
Oh, you mean ones that... Well, when I say passive animals, it means like something like the cheetah, where you can put on and you don't have to toss your sword out. That's just running.
Well, I mean, whenever I say passive, I mean one that you don't need to have active with you.
I hate these fucking dragons.
Because it's always active, technically.
Yeah. You can also block stuff. Allegedly.
Yeah, apparently.
Never used it.
I tried using it here because I thought I could block the attacks of the dragons. You can't.
I tried using it a few times and I never once got it to work.
Yeah, maybe we just did it wrong. Also, why
I probably did. I assume I did.
Oh, he's stuck forever, so.
You pressed B.
Oh, it's because you did the guard. The guard button has him stay. That's his thing.
Why does he do that?
Because another thing he does is that if he comes in contact with an enemy, he'll attack it. Doesn't really do much damage, but...
I thought, for the longest time, I thought his little gimmick was like, he stunned enemies if you hit them.
I thought he held on to the enemies so you can wail on them.
I'm just gonna get out of the screen instead of trying to kill that chicken.
Like, it's really hard to line up and... You're still probably better off using literally any other animal buddy.
Yeah, he honestly, let's be honest, he's kind of thrown out as soon as you get your third animal.
You know, he has zero story.
Actually, no.
Like, no questions or anything.
Because the third animal you get is the one that what's it called? Is the one that lets you what's the word I'm thinking of? You can ricochet off of like a lot of different walls, which I'm slightly disappointed in that, for the record, because I thought I would be able to just ricochet it off of any wall and like there wouldn't be like a cutscene sort of thing, but instead it's like a very long cutscene you have to go through. Now I'm only a little upset that that's the case.
That's the flying squirrel one, right?
Yeah.
I think that one actually stayed on my deck for a really long time, only until there was another animal later that basically did the same thing but better.
Yeah, like mind you, it's good. There's a lot of
because there's a hidden undiscussed attribute to it of you can control your sword. It's moving, which is really nice.
But
what about combo skills? Anyone gonna bring that up?
That's
a really late game, but yeah, that is.
I like the combo stuff, but I do have to say I feel like I'm a little upset that they actually brought him in so late.
Okay.
I think like a MOA especially should have probably been like your 4th or 5th thing. Well, not one so late on.
And I know that the cat and dog are not necessarily qualities that complement each other like the combo stuff normally does. It kind of disappoints me personally that that wasn't given something. You know? I just don't know what it would be. Well, I mean, like, I don't know. Cat and dog is always stereotyped to hate each other. Why not a combo based off of something like that?
That'd be interesting, I think.
But the problem with it, too, is that the cat is always passive, so...
Yeah, you have to pay... We have to hire the cats every single time.
Oh, yeah, that got fun real quick. Mm-hmm.
Yep, because I did a 100% playthrough for this game, I ended up having to grind a few points out at the end to buy the 1-hit point, because I kept having to buy revives.
Yeah, which...
speaking of that, you can buy a godforsaken life fruit for 800.
Yep, I missed it,
or
skipped the dialogue early on, but there's a... Right at the beginning of the game, there's a mermaid, I think, that sells you it?
Yeah.
Yeah, funny how you can actually talk to her all the time.
Well, she's like a mythical
makes some
beast,
sense.
so I guess it makes sense.
She's kind of a person...
Like half animal in a way.
I can let it slide.
Yeah, like a half animal, so... Yeah, you know, it's fair.
A half-a-mole?
A half-a-mole, you could say. There were some
Phil's bad man, she called us poor.
I thought that was funny. Though I will say this is also kind of this is kind of a thing that bugged me a little bit about the game too. Luckily it didn't happen too much, but there were points where they were like, and this happens typically in RPGs, right? So I can't give this game too much crap, but it is something that just as a player has always kind of irked me, is when they're like, you need a certain amount of money to progress, sort of thing. And early on, or fairly early in this game, it's such a short game that everything just feels early. But specifically the racetrack when you get the cheetah, you need, I think, it's like 70 coins, because you need 20, I think, to get into the racetrack itself. And then you need another 50 coins after you've already entered the racetrack to pay the cheetah to slow down.
What? What?
Do you have to pay the 50? Because I don't remember paying that, and I didn't have issues.
Oh, well, I just don't have to, but I mean, you could do that and get the free win. That's what I did.
I was able to beat him going full speed. What the hell?
Yeah,
Where was this?
Wait, you can make him go slower. Yeah, you can talk to him, make him go slower.
Yeah, you can talk to him again. Like, I know about this too. Like,
Oh.
Just talk to him again.
M didn't like that.
Look,
you can talk to animals! I figured I just talk to everything!
Oh yeah, it's an RPG, like that's what you do.
Well, I didn't know that, clearly.
See, you I mean, I don't know if you struggled in that section, but yeah, since you could talk to animals.
I kinda did, surprisingly. Well, not surprisingly. No, I just kinda did.
You could just pay him off and he'll just leave you alone. Or not leave you alone, but he'll go so slow that it's like almost impossible to lose.
It's basically a free win, yeah.
Yeah. And then he joins your party, obviously.
Well,
why'd I do that? So yeah, there is that overall this little thing going on. I'm actually, so we did kind of bring this up a little bit early on, but I think I haven't really had a proper time to truly bring it up. I'm curious overall, how do you guys feel about like graphics, aesthetics, all that sort of stuff?
It's nothing spectacular, but it's serviceable.
I think it's okay. I think some things look really good. Specifically, like, I think the sprites for, like, the characters look pretty damn good. Like, you know, the animals, all that sort of stuff. Like, the shading looks really good. The bosses, all that sort of stuff.
But I hate how it's got that generic,
like, anime look?
No, it's not even that. It's that generic, Genesis, Super Nintendo age look to it.
I mean,
that
it's
make
like
any
a product
sense?
of its time, so I don't mind it personally.
Yeah,
Also,
the
I've played
anime
enough Kingdom
aesthetic-
Hearts. I've played
I'll
enough
say
Kingdom
this:
Hearts,
the anime
isn't it?
aesthetic is not generic, if you ask me.
Hey, Mayo, when you got to this boss where you're like, I've played enough Kingdom Hearts, this is easy.
Beans.
No, I don't even see the Kingdom Hearts resemblance. Like, what?
The, what's it called? The Mushroom 13s and the
I
special
still don't
harvests.
see it.
They split into multiple things and you have to hit the right one. Except now it's in boss form. I don't know, I just thought it was
I guess I haven't played this much Kingdom Hearts. Do you think I have?
I have. But yeah, I think for me, the thing that disappoints me in terms of graphics-wise is there's a lot of environments that look very boring, but there's also some that look very nice, but for the most part I found the environments to be kind of boring-ish. Like this level, for example, I don't think looks very good at all. I like to compare it. I like to compare it to things like a Sonic, Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's Genesis. It's fair.
Yeah, because I feel like, yeah, like I think that's fair just because it is on the same console. At the very least, that works. But yeah, no, not to say all environments look bad, because there is, if I can get to, is it this area actually? No, it's the area after this, I think. That looks really nice. But it has no, I don't know, it's almost like inconsistent in a way. Some places look a little too simple, and other places look really good. The desert feels almost like it's missing things to me in a sense. I don't know how to describe it, other than, yeah, it feels like it's kind of missing stuff. Like I don't know, it's almost like some of the environments are empty looking in terms of how they look.
Oh,
the
yeah,
enemies
the
stick out a lot.
Definitely
like
that way.
Yeah, the volcano is too. But I do want to say the character sprites look really good. I think like enemy character sprites, all that stuff. I think they put most of their work into it, and I think it shows, and it's worth it. And I think this is also the part of the game where I start getting pissed at the sword.
Didn't you say that like 3 times already? Different parts.
No, this was the point where the realization like truly hit. I think I was starting to slowly get annoyed. I think the dragons I was starting to get annoyed, but I didn't realize what the problem was at the time. I think this is the actual level that pushed me over the edge with those stupid tree trunks. Because I did have to farm for some coins, because I thought you had to pay off the cheetah. I didn't even bother racing him until I paid him off. So I farmed it up. I didn't even know you could win. It's funny, because you guys, Mayo didn't, or no, sorry, M didn't know you could pay him off. I didn't know that you could beat him without paying him off until you both said it. It's honestly very interesting how that's how it is. And this section's a little stupid too, in my opinion. At least
I got lost here first time.
I did too. I didn't think that this is how this was going to work. How you needed to toss your, you need to get the flying squirrel on and toss the weapon to solve the thing. Like, I saw the switches. I just figured there'd be another way. I guess one thing that doesn't make sense to me about for the most part, about the sword throwing is some environments you could throw the swords over. In others that look the exact same, you can't. Luckily, this isn't too frequent. This happens, but sometimes there are those cases, or sometimes you'll be over a switch and it'll like throw over and it won't work. But some other times it will, and I don't know. It's just a weird situation in general.
I mean, I think it's kind of obvious what they were going for with the can't throw sword over surfaces.
I think the weird part is too is like, why did they let me throw through those trees but not other trees? I don't know. It's weird. At least it like the inconsistencies like that, though I could chalk this up to nitpick 100%, it is something that always bugs me.
Why was the bug going backwards? That bugged the hell out of me, and I didn't realize.
You get it? It bugged the hell out of him?
That was not... that was unintentional, actually.
One thing I do... You know, some people might call this a negative, right? But I think this is kind of a positive in some situations. I think it actually works in this game's favor. Do you guys actually enjoy the fact that this game is pretty damn short? Like, you beat it in, like, 3 hours.
Honestly, yeah, I don't think you do it in 3 hours. Like, 5 is probably realistic.
I think I beat it in about 4.5, I want to say.
I have no idea how long it took.
It took me like 6 or 7. How long to beat says like 9 or 10.
I remember searching up a long play to see how long it took somebody to beat it. Somebody beat it in like 2.5 hours, and I was like, wow.
Okay. I guess I didn't read anything.
I think those were the people that like just knew the game, though, you know, by heart at that point. So yeah.
Like, it's one of those things that probably would have bothered people like 10 years ago. Like, we're all used to indie games, and like by now, like, we're used to short games.
Yeah. I think it works in favor of games on some of these older consoles. Like, it depends. I think if this game, while a lot of things do piss me off about this game, at the very least, they are not all over. Like, it's not commonplace, you know, right? Because if it was common, then yeah, that would frustrate me a lot. But yeah, no, it's I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
What is not commonplace? Because
I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I was reading the dialogue and I lost my train of thought. We were talking about gameplay length. But no,
I hate how I can't focus on one thing, more than one thing at a time. ADHD.
Oh, I know, right? But no, what I meant to say was, while this is a short game, I think this is what I meant to say. While this is a short game, and I didn't like, there's a lot of things that ended up frustrating me. I think like, the fact that it's so short ends up giving me more giving me a higher point value in the end, because, not because, oh wow, the suffering is over sort of thing, faster, but more of like, I think this is a game that works better shorter the way it is.
Like, I know we've already compared it once and probably will again. I have never beaten Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. I think that game's too long for some good.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
I think it should have only been like maybe
Here's
4
my
dungeons.
opinion. Here is my opinion on Link to the Past. It's overrated to hell.
I mean, yeah.
I'm in agreement.
Like,
I mean,
holy shit.
I like A Link to the Past still, but it's...
And I'm
nowhere near my
still
favorite.
salty about
Not
the
even
idea
talking
of Ego Raptor actually giving shit to Skyward Sword and Ocarina of Time. Yes, I'm salty about that.
I mean, Skyward Sword's a regularly divisive game. I can understand that one, but Ocarina?
Yeah, really. I mean, I'm fine if you want to have a diverse opinion on that, and I am trying my hardest to tolerate that.
I don't want to talk about it too much, but he thinks that the first Zelda game is better than Ocarina, so...
Yeah, no, like, I saw that. It's like the
For
only
God's
video I've
sake,
seen.
please
It's probably the
tell
only
me.
one I'm ever going to watch. This point are still good.
I mean, I really hope you're referring to Ego Raptor on that one, because that's one hell of a hot take. And here's the thing. Here's my hot take, then. The first game's better than LTTP, if you ask me.
No.
And it's cryptic as hell.
No,
absolutely
I'm not even
not.
hearing that. No.
I'm not hearing that either. Absolutely not.
Here's the thing. I have heard Link to the Past so much, I have gotten to where I hate it. And yet, here I played it some time ago.
No, I thought you were making a joke about this.
I mean, there's some famous that are fun. Look at that.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
I do think, and this is a good. I still think A Link to the Past is a good comparison for this game. I do think that this game.
Oh no, it is.
I do think A Link to the Past is a little too long for its own good, yes, but I also think if A Link to the Past was as short as this game, it wouldn't work potentially as well. I guess I don't know. I don't think it should be as long as it was, but it definitely shouldn't be this short. I think this game doesn't have enough depth or like the story sort of thing. Like it doesn't have like a lot of crazy stuff going on for it. So I think that the short factor of this game it really does work a lot of favors. I think if this game lasted like 10 hours, 11 hours, keep the time going, so on and so forth. Mix that in with my problems with the game as is, yeah, it would have frustrated me. But I think the game had a clear understanding of what it was, what it wanted to do, and accomplished it in a good amount of time. It's sort of weird how the second half gets very, not really story heavy, but almost like gets philosophical in a way.
Yeah, I mean,
I always found
more than the first episode.
Yeah, like I always found how weird that was. Like, because you get one-off comments, right? Also, here, look, you can pay him off. Told you.
Yeah, go against him. No balls.
No, I paid him
Do
off.
it. Aw.
Honestly, I should have just to see how it was. I mean, it probably wasn't too bad because this is really easy. So, like, this is an easy track. There's nothing too crazy.
Okay, this is disgusting.
Wow. Oh yeah, you never.
It's like you have to try to lose.
Wow.
But yeah, I guess to finish off that segment, yeah, really, the shortness does really work in its favor. It knows what it does, but I do really want to briefly touch on the second half of the game on how, like, it does get oddly philosophical in a way. Like, it does.
I
like,
would expect that from Final Fantasy, honestly.
Well, I think my issue isn't that it got philosophical or like trying to be like, why, let's stop fighting creatures. It's almost like an anti-RPG in a way, but it didn't go the full mile. It didn't commit. It was like, because the first half, like Mayo said, it has stuff, and if you talk to the NPCs and stuff like that, right? Like, yeah, they say things, but it's nothing too crazy. And then the second half of the game is like all about it. It's almost like out of nowhere in a sense, because it doesn't really have like the build up for it, because the story is so, like, the game is so purposefully light on storytelling.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you're gonna stop the war. Wait a minute, are you actually stopping the war? Or are you contributing to it? Which
yeah,
I absolutely did. I'm not denying it. I embraced it.
Here's the first damn hint to all that.
Oh yeah, for the slime stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
I have been slimed. Which this is resolved in a really stupid way. The first hint, for the record, because obviously I'm going through dialogue fast. Basically what happens is, it has these slimes like, we're scared because there's you'll see it, scared, the hero's coming, he's gonna kill us, let's hide. Then you talk to the slime mom, and then it's like, oh, you're a human, yeah, you seem like a good human, we'll let you live, or we'll tell you how to change back to normal. And then one of the slimes, or the person that turned us into a slime, is just like, yeah, I turned you into slime because a slime loved a girl. So that's like the first. This is the first intentional moment, I guess, where the game really tries to ham fist in the whole. Heroes are bad. Creatures.
Speaking of, this is the last time you're ever gonna see the hero guy. Never see him again. Not even a name drop.
Actually, you do again.
Where?
At the end of the game, check the prison.
I never saw that.
I'm not even kidding.
Of course, he's in the prison.
Oh, actually, yeah, no, he is. That's right. Like at the way end, like after Times Reset or whatnot.
And I actually kind of prefer the first half of the game to the second half. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you prefer the second half or the first half? I'm just curious. Because I would say this game has a distinct first. I would say this game.
I agree. They're distinct.
Half and second half.
I have no idea, honestly.
I like them for different reasons. I don't really prefer one to the other.
I think I like this one because
it'd be like asking me if I prefer platformers or RPGs. Like, well, I like them for different reasons. I don't know which one I'd lean toward.
You give him Super Mario, Super Paper Mario. Really confusing. I'm not.
I guess so.
Well, I mean, you know, it's a platformer and an RPG.
Time for the best puzzle in the game. Who used the guide for this puzzle?
No,
me.
I didn't.
Oh wait, do you
we
not
know
know
you didn't use the guide.
Wait. This is like a really old school puzzle. You actually don't know about this?
I mean, hell, I don't even know about it, and I solved it.
Oh, well, did you do it by brute force or?
No, I was trying to figure out how to set things up.
Like I tried brute forcing it for a while, and it just was not working.
Oh no, I was supposed to bring back the chicken. I guess I think we should probably just talk about the second half of the game a little more, just because it is interesting in its own right. I feel like it's got stuff to talk about. I guess maybe I'm thinking too hard about that or something. I don't know. Oh, geez, what is that sound?
What happened to your mic? It's suddenly got a lot of feedback.
What?
Oh, sorry. Your mic decided it just wanted to. You're good now. It decided to want to have a lot of like background noise for some reason.
I've got a fan going, but I don't know how that's.
Okay,
I have no idea how that was getting picked up just now.
But
you see, I don't have RTX like everyone else. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, the second half of the game. Give me your thoughts, Sam. I want to know about your thoughts on the profound knowledge of the second half of the game.
Let me put it like this: it's like making the foundation of a bridge out of toothpicks. Does that make any sense?
Please
the
elaborate.
start of the game is the foundation itself. The bridge itself is the rest of the game.
I guess. Yeah. You know what I think it is that bugs me about the story in the long run, besides the fact that it doesn't really go full force until the second half, sort of thing, is the fact that what's it called? Let's be honest, the idea.
The Tower of Babel was just thrown in.
The what?
The Tower of Babel was just thrown in.
Well, so I think it's to show the fact that humans think they're the best or something. I think that was that.
I know. I'm just talking about the lore of this game. It's just thrown in.
I mean, I guess.
It's not even alluded to, from my understanding.
No, it's not. There's some animals that talk about it. They're like,
well, I mean,
the humans built the tower and tried to go to the Tower of Babel to go to the
it's brought up directly. It's not hinted to by the humans, which I consider a bit of a problem.
Well, I think that also comes with the whole fact that you can't talk to people. Yeah, which, to be fair, cool concepts, but yeah, it feels like you are kind of missing some things when you're not able to. When you're only able to.
I feel like what they should have done is that you could still understand other people, but you couldn't say anything to them. You would have the same idea,
or
you could at least know what they're saying.
Or better yet, continue with the motif that was went with and actually provide better and more dialogue beforehand. Because that could have worked too. I mean, I'm not going to say my point is the end-all be-all on that. It's just... I mean, that works too, doesn't it?
Nice. I think this game should have went the full mile also to just be kind of like an anti-RPG in a sense, if that's what they really wanted to do. But at the same time, they're like, it's kind of awkward having a semi-profound message, right? Where it's like, oh, we shouldn't be at war, we should be all good guys, sort of thing, right? But you're still constantly throwing your sword and killing enemies, and I don't know, it's almost like
we're constantly playing monsters despite we're supposedly on the monster side, and our grand solution to all of it, which is, I'm not going to say you want to have your own at the end, but it's a decision.
Yes, just swing sharp stick.
Also, I fucking hate this desert.
Yes.
I still don't understand how these whirlpools work. This is just an annoying section. This isn't even inherently a game. This is like a one-time gimmick. I don't know why they did this, and I hate it.
I didn't have too many issues with this, at least not the first time.
I think my first time was insufferable.
Okay, so you don't go down the middle.
No, you do. I'm just grabbing there's a life thingy up here.
No,
Please. Give me.
Okay, so
Please.
you can't sink. You really can't sink down into the sandy pits that these have.
Oh no, you don't sink down.
Okay, I thought you could.
No, you cannot.
Well, I mean, there's a section full of them that you have. I thought you could when I first saw them until I saw that there was a wall of them, and I was like, okay, maybe I've got to do something with them. As it turns out, I did in fact have to do something with them. Well, I guess... Is there anything else that really is important to talk about, I guess, when it comes to this game? Is there anything else you guys want to mention? Bosses? We can talk about bosses. What do you guys think about the bosses?
Could have been better.
I mean, they're serviceable.
I'm gonna say,
Well,
like,
yeah.
I think serviceable is the word I'd use too. Like,
But
none of them are like
still-
outright offensive, but it's just it goes back to the fact this game is easy. Like, it's everything in this game is too easy to actually be memorable.
Yeah, I feel like the, what's it called? The, main areas are more deadly, for sure, than the, what's it called? Like the...
With one exception,
bosses.
which is, I think it was like the Babel boss. Like, that one I struggled really hard on for some reason.
The
But
fake
literally
rope
every
one?
other boss... Yeah.
Isn't there two
Yeah,
in the Tower
speaking of
Babel?
that,
Like, that
It's
boss
actually-
was brutal. But
Yeah,
literally every other boss,
that's
including
the
final
one I
boss,
almost
was
died
really
on.
easy.
That is the
Which
one I almost
one?
died on.
which boss is this now?
The Tower Babel rope boss. Quote-unquote rope boss.
I can't think of what that was.
That's the one where he does attacks and you have to wait for him to be open before you can attack him.
Yeah, and every attempt, like, I swear it was on a randomized timer for like when the weakness would pop up, because on one of my attempts, it took like 5 minutes for the weakness to show up.
I hate to say I'm still drawing blanks.
I mean, I'm close. After I beat this level, you'll see it. So, and
It's not that far off.
yeah, well, you'll likely be able to see it soon. But, yeah, I mean, that was the only hard boss, but I feel like that boss was hard for the wrong reasons almost. Also, you can hit him multiple times, which I didn't even know. Like in a cycle.
Yes, you can.
Until,
Yeah,
like,
you
the
can get him-
way end.
Yeah, like that backwards jump, like I said twice, I actually got him 3 times. But it's stupidly hard to do that.
Like, that's probably the only boss that I would say offhand is brutal for some reason. Like, yeah, it's like, I understand, there's the one attacks I understand, but then there's the attacks where he tosses his fists out. I
was
know
having issues with the AoE attacks, which I just could not dodge.
like the ones where
Oh,
he
the
would
fame's
swing
back.
his arms around.
Yeah,
say
that one.
something. Say something.
Oh,
Say
sorry.
something.
What?
Okay, it's
just-
fixed.
sometimes
Yeah,
if
it seems
you're-
like whenever you go silent, that's when the fan kicks in.
Yeah, but all you have to do
Hey.
is say something and it fixes.
Let me see if I can turn it and it helps. I'm sorry, it gets hot in here.
But no, that's
It's like
fine. Like, I live in a
winter.
desert, I get it.
Oh, right.
Sure.
Yeah,
You know what
Clutchy was
winter
too
is.
busy letting you go bad the other day.
Oh yeah, because yeah, just a little behind the scenes for everyone. We were gonna record this 2 days in advance, but I fucked up my times.
But that's something that I would expect to be done by me.
I just
Just
find it
saying.
funny because I'm the host technically, and I'm the one who made the mistake. Like that bad of one. But I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say about the bosses other than that, I guess. So I don't know. The bosses are all like, they're all straightforward, easy, except for the one Nothing too spectacular or special. They're fine. Again, they're serviceable. I think a lot of things that come down to this game is most things are serviceable in the grand scheme of things. I don't know if that is like, if you guys feel differently, but that's how I feel. Like, the game is serviceable, but I think that's probably why I don't like it nearly as much as I probably should, is because while the game is serviceable and fine for what it is, the parts that annoy me, because everything is just so serviceable to me, end up making me dislike it, unfortunately, a little more than I would wish to like it, sort of thing.
I mean, it's quite clear the game tries quite hard in some way. Actually, on several degrees, that it tries to be more and better than Link to the Past. And although I hate Link to the Past because of the overratings of it, and don't care for the game myself, I would still prefer it over this. Hello?
I mean,
Hello.
I didn't know if you just had more to add. I was just letting you finish your thought.
No, that's fine. I just... buffering over here. Wondered if something happened.
No, you're good. I don't think this game was trying to be better than Link to the Past.
No,
I think it
I'm
was
just
trying to
saying...
be Genesis's version of that game.
What? I mean, that... Well, clearly, yes, that...
Like, even the HUD looks like a Link to the Past.
Yeah. It's just like literally all they did is they replaced the rupees of coins and the hearts with apples. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of see it, but I also don't. Envisionment-wise, I don't see it, but...
You also start in a house, just like in A Link to the Past, because that's the only game that does it.
Yeah.
Clearly, yeah, mm-hmm.
Did you know A Link to the Past invented houses?
It's true.
Everybody just lived outside before then.
It's true. It's a fact of life, even.
Oh my god, Brent, I did not catch that for some reason. What? I'm sorry.
Alright, here's the boss for the record, M.
This! Oh.
Yeah. So I guess... Does anybody else have anything they would like to bring up?
Can we get some gasoline and dispose of this boss, please?
Agreed. It's the only boss that I struggled
with.
Yes.
The first time I fought this boss was not nearly as bad of a problem. Second time around, too busy getting fistfuls or rocketfuls of fist. Shit for brains here was wanting to spam it.
Ah, jeez. Yeah, that's the attack that gives me issues.
Yeah, the slowdown.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how much that is like an emulator bug. But I'm assuming some of that is on the console too.
Yeah. Okay. How much? I've never seen that attack before. What?
Yeah, dual attack, dual hand attack. Yeah, that happens, and I got that a pretty decent amount. I didn't know you can destroy.
How do you dodge it? Oh, that's how.
I didn't know you could actually destroy the fist rockets.
I took a wild guess because I was like, these are impossible to dodge otherwise.
I was trying to dodge them. I got the impression you just couldn't.
Well,
you know.
I tried to dodge them too the first time around until the way end. That's when I started hitting them. Yeah, I don't know if you get. Oh, okay, that was a short cycle. I don't know if you guys have anything else to talk about, because if you don't, then I'm ready to move on to ratings, and then knowing we'll be in the next episode.
Because that guy briefly brought up the endings, but that's all I could think of.
The ending's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. The ending's stupid.
I mean,
I just love how
it plays into that anti-RPG thing you were saying a few times. I get that, but
the ending is stupid.
Basically okay, so we're gonna try to solve war. How are we gonna do that? Forced segregation. Okay.
That's not how it works at all. Yeah, the ending is. it does try to be. It's dumb. It really is dumb, and I think all of it comes down to it tries to be something that it doesn't really deserve. I think that's it. It tries to be something that it doesn't earn in a sense, and then it just kind of puts all these thoughts, these ideas on you, and if you're not even paying attention to the minimalist story as is, it just kind of comes out of nowhere, and you just gotta be like, you just gotta watch it. You just gotta watch it happen. And then when you think about the true implications and everything, it's just like...
Oh, like, when you think about the implications of everything that you've done, like, or let's just say that maybe the canonical name of this character being named after a virus is actually a secret move of genius.
No! No!
That's so funny!
Jesus Christ! Oh my god, that's awful!
Oh, that is the quote of the episode.
Please,
am I wrong, though?
You can clip that.
I mean, no, you're not wrong. I mean...
Oh my...
It's funny because your character's supposed to be like the prophecy character, you know? Oh, he's the good guy, he's the everything, but actually he's just the name of the character, but in real life.
You know what really would make that worse? If he was 19 years old in this game. What a slap in the face!
I'm sorry to bring up again the whole, what's it called? Oh yeah, strongest ice magic.
Oh.
This combo. But I hate to bring in the whole, like, this is so similar to, what's it called? Zelda, but he's 14, and that's when he becomes an adult, quote unquote.
I mean, like, this game is asking for comparisons. Like, you have to.
I know. I genuinely just hate constantly bringing it up, but I mean, we've been honest about it.
Look at it.
Literally just a Link to the Past on the Genesis. But with that, I mean, I don't know. Do we all have anything else to say about the ending other than the fact that it feels forced, it feels unwarranted, and it's stupid, and the implications make no sense.
I mean, I
agree to all that, but I kind of love it for all of those reasons.
Personally, I didn't realize the implications.
Well, the implications, like, you're supposed to...
No, I understand it now. I just...
Okay.
Before I didn't realize it.
Okay,
like,
gotcha.
go back to your home. Yeah, that shit, I didn't really connect the dots.
Honestly, in a way, it makes me feel like my adventure was worthless. So...
It's essentially nullified at the end.
Always, yeah, like, I basically have a thing where in RPGs especially, where like I always like playing as villains or bad guys. So, like, I kind of like it on that angle.
Yeah, but I think the problem is this game's point isn't. I don't think it's trying to. I don't think you're trying to be a bad. It's trying to paint you as
I don't think it's trying to,
guy.
but I don't care. That's what we are.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, true. We're literally doing what we're against, which is hilarious.
Unintentional
we're
bad
the most
guy.
evil character in this game.
We are. We probably go on killing more like creatures and animals than any other character.
I mean, to be fair, like once you get up to what's it called, they do actively call you out over and over. Like, oh, you're so stupid. Fine, just destroy the world, whatever. So, like maybe they were aware, but I don't know.
There we go. I guess with that then, though, I think it's fair to we can move on to ratings, then talk about the next. I know Mayo doesn't rate games, so I'm gonna keep pestering him until he does it, as I always do.
No, I think he ripped the game a new one whenever he said what he did.
What do you mean? He said he likes the game more than us.
Yeah, I like the game.
I'm not saying he doesn't like it. I'm just simply saying I think he tore it a new one and gave it a number without realizing.
What do you mean? He said it was a great. He said it was a great game because it's so ridiculous.
The implication that you gave the implications that make any sense at all?
No, I'm more confused now than I was a moment ago.
The virus bit.
So that was a joke.
Oh yeah, that was a
very
damn
joke.
good one.
That was a very on the nose joke. It was just really funny.
Oh God,
I thought it was funny though.
It's like, don't look too deeply into that, really.
Yeah.
Please don't. It's just a joke, people. For God's sake.
I guess with that then, yeah.
I don't think
I would go with my rating first, but Mayonnaise Doctor, how would you rate this game? EmeraldMaster.
12 out of pasta. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I thought you were making a joke, like, oh yeah, I'll just be quiet, sort of thing.
I was trying to think of something stupid to say, and like, I got it!
Will you say 12 out of pasta?
Yeah, 12 out of pasta.
Evil protagonist out of good guy protagonist.
Unintentional evil protagonist.
That would be Infinity. I already said I like playing as the villains in games, so...
Oh, wait. Oh no.
I'm curious.
Is the mayonnaise the real villain here?
Yes.
I'm curious, Em, then.
I would go for a 4 out of 10, honestly.
A 4 out of 10? Wow. Actually, you're harsher than me, I think.
It's not bad. It's just a mixed bag. You know?
I would say...
If it had a remake and a lot of these things were, of course, dulled around the edges, it would be a lot better, of course.
It's almost too short for a remake.
Yeah, I know. It's just, it could be made longer in that process, too, and more interesting.
Yeah, true.
But no one's really going to do that, though.
Honestly, there's too many games that have done this idea, and hell, even the anti-RPG idea, that I actually don't think this game warrants any sort of remake. I think that'd be a little redundant and kind of pointless.
I don't feel like I've ever really heard the people being fans of this game is the big one for me. Like, if this, even if all those things were true, but like, if people were still like talking about it, that alone would warrant a remake.
I hear people say I played this game a lot when I was younger and I liked it or something. But that's really about it.
Game?
Well, okay, I guess we did skip on the how did we first hear about this game bit, but okay, if I've never heard of it.
Oh, true. Yeah, how did we...
Pretty much the same. I just found it.
I found it from M, so...
But apparently you found it in childhood.
I found it at a garage
those were in
sale.
Comments to like the long play videos is where I saw that stuff.
I found it at a garage sale. That's why Mayo got really spookified, and that's the spooky arc of this story. If you don't mind me making a joke about that, Mayo.
A 4 out of 10.
No hard feels on that bit. Oh, sorry about that.
He says it's good. You're fine. So, I would say... I'll just go with a 5 out of 10, but basically close to a 6. I think it's fine. I think serviceable is the word of the day when it comes to this game. It's totally serviceable.
It can probably satisfy the itch.
If you want to play, I guess, a Genesis version of A Link to the Past, give it a swing.
You've had the gameplay playing for a while now. Like, just look at the screen. Like, you know if you're interested in this sort of thing or not just by looking at it.
Yep, and I just want to tell everyone, for the record, I am more or less at the halfway point, so...
And this is not exactly the most fun. I mean, it's fun to jump around when you have better control of where you're at, but...
I mean, yeah, we're in... This is...
You're literally in the ice dungeon. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Well, ice physics aren't... Listen, you know I would start a damn argument over things like water, ice, and a lot of the other niche things. You know that now.
I think we all would. Trust me, I think we all would.
Because these things can be made good, okay?
I guess though, with that though, that's how you'd rate this game, Crusader of Centy. It's okay. If I had to guess, Mayo would probably give it more of like a 7. Obviously, he's not going to rate it properly, so I don't know if that's correct. But I'm just, if you guys want to get a gist, it sounds like that'd be about it.
I will not confirm or deny that comment,
which is fair. But he likes it. It's interesting though that we have someone who finds it average, somebody who finds it below average, and somebody who finds it above average. So that's what I like about, talking about games and stuff like that. It's always more interesting to me in that regard. But with that, M, it's time for your second game. I'm sorry, I'm so used to just saying Mayo.
Well, I haven't really been around you that much lately. The next game, I imagine you're asking?
Yes. What will we be doing for the next game?
Well, considering the time of the year it is, it did just pop into my head. People are going to be wanting to reserve funds for the obvious. So, I will not be suggesting something that is commercial. So instead, I'll suggest the alternative that I marked that's actually free. Lyle in the Cube Sector or something like that.
Yeah, I've
free
never heard of this game.
You know Yeah, of course. The bear walks on water, of course.
Of course it does.
Let me get the link for this.
You could say
that was not a pun.
To the past. But there you go. Yeah, on that note, in this episode of the Romper Crew, we are done talking about Crusader of Centy. If you want to give it a go, give it a go. It's on the Genesis. Maybe on more platforms that I'm unaware of, but as far as I'm aware, I'm not sure.
No, it only ever released on Genesis.
And that's a good thing.
I still have the wiki page open. It does not cite any other consoles.
There you go. So again, thank you all for watching the return of the Romper Crew. Thank you to my co-hosts, as always, for being here. Next, we'll see you in... I don't even know what the name of the game was. Cuboid or something? I don't know.
The next game?
Bonanza Brothers?
Yeah, we're playing Bonanza Brothers. We're not playing Bonanza Brothers next.
Aww.
I'm trying to get the link for the stuff. Lyle and Cube Sector.
There you go. Lyle and Cube Sector. Whatever the hell that is. I'm kind of scared, I'll be honest.
It gets hard, but...
I'm not scared because I think it's hard. I'm scared because I don't know what the game is, and the name scares me.
It's not dirty by any means, you perv.
I didn't say that either. I'm just... I don't know. It's a scary name.
Okay.
Okay.
Look, if you told me that you were recommending a game like IntelliCube, and if I didn't know what IntelliCube was offhand, I'd probably be terrified also. That's immediately what I think of, IntelliCube. For some reason.
Why question that I want to mention immediately. Does this run on Flash? Because it kind of looks like a Flash game.
Nope. Something made in Click Fusion, or Click Team Fusion, that's what it is.
And there you guys go. There's your little, there's your, little...
tidbit of information.
There's your little hook to go watch the next episode of the Romper Crew.
Just remember
it looks like a Flash game.
How?
That look at it.
I'll end the video on that note. Then thank you all for watching. Say bye, everyone. Bye. Everyone.
Bye.
And don't forget to subscribe to everyone except for me. Bye bye.